Our spotlight, the Supreme Court on Tuesday heard oral arguments in a case that could have sweeping changes for access to the widely used abortion pill mifepristone. The Supreme Court appearing highly skeptical of a challenge brought by a group of anti-abortion doctors to the Food and Drug Administration. The Alliance for Hippocratic Medicine argues the Food and Drug Administration broke the law by letting patients get mifepristone through telehealth and the mail. Makers of mifepristone, Danco Laboratories, say the drug is among the safest the FDA has ever approved. I want to bring back my panel here. Joining us is our ABC News legal contributor and law professor at the University of Baltimore, Kim Whaley, along with ABC News contributor and former official to the Hillary Clinton 2016 presidential campaign, Amanda Renteria, along with Sarah Isker and Mike Muse. Thank you so much. So, Kim, let's start here with you. You told me earlier that you were really interested in some of the things that Amy Coney Barrett had to say. Can you elaborate?
Well, she both asked questions about the actual process and focused on how you might not be pregnant but need post sort of care regarding a miscarriage, for example. And in addition, she also was hard on the petitioners, the plaintiffs here, on the question of what we call Article 3 standing, whether these doctors' hypothetical kind of psychic spiritual injury is enough to really bring the federal courts in the arena when it comes to approval of something as technical as a drug like mifepristone.
And Sarah, what do you make of the way that the court is approaching reproductive rights here this time?
Well, we've seen this again and again where the left will try to undermine the authority of the court, say that this is a 6-3 radical conservative court. And again, they uphold things like the Voting Rights Act. And in this case, most people believe this will now be an 8-1 decision, allowing the FDA to continue to approve mifepristone. So I feel like a lot of the dramatics around this have been overblown. I think this court has proven that it's not a 6-3 conservative court along political lines. In fact, it's far more interested in the institutional aspects, like the Article 3 standing that Kim just mentioned, which has actually been used by both the right and the left to bring these sort of activist litigation pieces.
Yeah, and I mean, to your point, we have heard John Carl say time and time again that this court has shown extreme independence, and so it's important to watch closely. Amanda, this is one of the first major abortion rights cases to get to the Supreme Court, of course, since Roe versus Wade was overturned 2 years ago. We know that there's a lot at stake here. What do you pinpoint?
I don't think folks have forgotten Roe v. Wade decision, and in fact, it just again puts it on the headlines that women's rights are at stake, and it matters how you vote. When you look in battleground states in 2022, you saw women registering 4-1 versus compared to men. In Michigan, you saw every single age group, every single category, women showed up more than men. I think having it in the headlines is a reminder of what has happened, of who the Supreme Court is and who has taken rights away. And that will actually be a big part of this election cycle, is who is there for women and who is not.
You know, I think you're right to bring up the election cycle, though, because, Mike, to you, I hear from a lot of voters, if they're going to vote on an issue, if there's a single issue that is going to drive them to the polls, it is reproductive rights, men or women.
You are absolutely right, Kana. I am hearing the exact same thing. Reproductive rights is definitely on the ballot, but also too, Kana, the Supreme Court is also too on the ballot, and not in the aspect of anything can be done with these current Supreme Court justices. But I think a lot of voters now are really recognizing the power of their vote when it comes to voting for the President of the United States of America, and that one of the greatest privileges of being the President of the United States of America is you get the privilege to appoint a Supreme Court justices. So, Kana, I believe that Americans now are really much more interested and educated on our federal judiciary and our judiciary as a whole, and they are taking that into consideration when they're going to the ballot boxes now in November.
Yeah, and Kim, we're talking a lot about this right now, but how quickly will we learn a decision here?
Well, presumably it'll be sometime this term. I mean, the decisions, start in June, late May, and so we'll know by the summer. And I agree, it looks like, happily, frankly, in this particular case, the court's going to pay attention to something as important as standing, which it did not do, for example, in the Biden student loan case. It did not do it in the case involving the website developer who was challenging a Colorado anti-discrimination statute. So if what we're seeing is a Supreme Court going back into a moderate lane that tailors its decisions to facts and law, I'm 100% for it. I think it's a terrific turn of events potentially today.
All right, well, we'll all be watching this very closely. Mike, Sarah, Amanda, and Kim, our thanks to all of you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.